Hello friends, it's Cress here with a long overdue Touch of Magic tutorial. If it's your first time here, welcome, and if not, welcome back to the channel. Though this beautiful game unfortunately doesn't have terraforming, with Touch of Magic we can add as many water features as we'd like. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to create 4 different water rug designs, plus a quick look at the ways I've used each design in my own valley. I'll also include links in the description for all of the builds where I use these water rugs. I did speed up the design process a little bit because I didn't want the video to be too long, but I tried to keep it slow enough so that you'd find each of these tutorials easy to follow. Okay, that's enough talking from me, let's get to it. This is what the rug will look like when it's finished, that way you have a reference as we go. First off, we're going to select the carpet looking texture. It's the third one down on the left. Next, we'll select the colors. For the first color, we're going to pick the darkest shade of green, and for the second color, we'll choose the lightest shade of green in that row. For this rug, we'll only be using one motif. Under the nature category, we're going to use the water motif, and we'll start in the left bottom corner and work our way up. Now, of course, you don't have to place each motif exactly where I placed mine. We're just kind of working on creating the general shape of a winding stream, but it is important as you're going along to move some of the pieces so that they go underneath the others and rotate the pieces in a way that looks natural. That way it doesn't just look like a whole bunch of water motifs are just stacked on top of each other in a uniform line. Rather than go into the menu each time to grab the motif, I just selected the mirror tool in the tool menu. I love this feature because it recreates the exact size and rotation of the motif you duplicated from, but the only downside is that because it's a perfectly symmetrical mirror, it puts the motif on the other side of the rug, so each time I had to drag it across to the other side, which is not ideal for recording. You'll also notice that I use the inversion tool. It's the one on the far left when you open up the tool menu up on top, and I use this inversion tool to invert the motifs. This also helps to make sure that the stream won't look too uniform. These colors, while obviously designed for the wild tangle, match very well with the grass in the Forest of Valor as well. And I forgot to record this, but you'll want to use the arrows to resize the grass blades to the largest size because it blends in the best with the tall grass, and probably be best to rotate it 90 degrees for the best blend as well. This is the point where we want to start curving down. I designed it in this shape so that you can connect multiples of these rugs to create a longer stream. You can actually see how that works in my Rapunzel's tower build. Again, while this exact shape isn't necessary, creating a little alcove like this will allow you to add rocks, fallen logs, butterfly flowers, bushes, and other small items that add to like the banks of the stream and make the whole rug really blend in well with the rest of the surrounding areas. Now we're going to fill in some of the spots along the edge with a few motifs just to add a little bit more of the shape we want. It was at this point I realized that I'd made the right side of the rug too thick and brought the motifs down too low. So we're going to do a bit of readjusting just to make the stream a bit thinner. I brought the bottom motif up, I inverted it and rotated it. And then for the top motif, I rotated it, resized it, and moved it down. Here are some of the ways that I use this rug in my valley. You can use it with fencing or without, with the rocky terrain or without. I really love to leave a space in between the rugs to kind of cut a path through, creating the concept of a little bridge. I did create one of these rugs in the colors of the Ever After as well. So if you want to do this for the first color, we're going to select the shade of blue that you see here. And for the second, we'll choose this purplish blue. Here's how I used it in the veil. And finally, I actually created a third one of these rugs for the bind. You're going to use the same shade of orange for both colors, the first and second. It's that reddish orange shade. And I haven't finished this build yet, but I'll be posting the build that I used it in soon. Now for the second rug design, the reflective pond with lily pads. For this rug design, the only two shapes we'll be using are the circle and the four-pointed star. Here is the completed rug for reference. First, we'll select the metal motif underneath the carpet looking one on the left. For the color, we're going to be choosing the lightest shade of blue. For the circle, we're going to choose this shade of green. Next, we'll resize using the globe tool to make it smaller. Then we'll use the mirror tool to duplicate, move, and resize. I wanted to create several clusters to make it look more natural with the lily pads clumped together, but feel free to place them wherever you'd like to fit your valley or your aesthetic. With all the circles in place, it's time to use the 4-pointed star to cut out little bits of the lily pads. We'll make them smaller using the globe tool and then use the cutting tool for this look. Now, if you prefer, you can absolutely use the triangle shape instead. I just like the star for this rug because the circles that we created were small, and being able to make the entire star smaller means that each triangle point would be smaller than if we just used the triangle shape. I really hope that makes sense. Anyway, we're going to go around and cut out the little triangles out of most of the lily pads. I've used this rug almost exclusively in my glade, but I do have it in a build in my peaceful meadow, as well as one in the Forest of Valor, so truly it could work in any biome in your valley or any of the biomes in the expansions as well. For the third rug, we will be creating a mossy green pond with lily pads and cherry blossoms. This is the completed rug for reference. For this rug, the shapes we'll be using are circles, triangles, and then we'll use the 2 cherry blossom motifs that we have in the game. First, we're going to select the same texture that we did for the last rug, which is the 4th one down on the left. For the color, we will choose the shade of green that you see on the screen. To get that pretty mossy look, we will turn the metal off for this rug and move glossiness all the way up. That way we get the shiny look just like a real moss-covered pond would look in the sun. Starting off with the circle, we're going to choose the second darkest shade of green as you can see on the screen. Now this rug doesn't have very many lily pads, so we're going to make them a bit larger than the other rug. Once we have the circles done, we'll cut out bits of them just like we did with the other rug, only this time I used triangles since I wasn't concerned about the size. Next, we can add the cherry blossoms. Use the globe tool to make them smaller, then resize, rotate, and place one on each lily pad. Then we can add some just floating on the water. I didn't add too many because I knew I was going to add rocks and butterfly flowers and candles, but feel free to add as many or as few as you like, resizing and rotating them so that they don't look too uniform. I also added some of the cherry blossom clusters just to add a bit more variety, but it's completely up to you if you want to add them to yours. I used this rug in my Mulan build in my Sunlit Plateau, but I think the mossy look could blend really well in the Glades aesthetic too. Now this last rug is just a basic water rug. This rug popped up on Reddit and Instagram pretty much as soon as we got basic rugs in the game, so I will definitely not claim this as my own idea. If anyone does know who the first person was to come up with this idea, let me know in the comments. I'd love to credit them. This is a pretty simple design. Start off with the shiny blue texture, which is the one on the left. For the color, I chose a light blue that kind of matches the water motif, and I turned down the glossiness just a little bit. For this rug, we're going to make use of the pattern tool, so place the motif down, then go into the tool menu and select the pattern. It will turn your entire motif into a pattern, duplicating it across the whole rug. And then I enlarged and rotated it. Then you're going to do the same thing 2 more times with 2 more motifs. Finally, you're going to go in with a few more water motifs just to fill in the gaps. I use this in my Moana build in the Oasis, but it's really one of those rugs you can really use just about anywhere. And that's it. Now you have 4 different rugs that you can use to add a little something extra to your builds. Thanks for watching this tutorial. You've seen how I've used these rugs in my valley. I'd love to see how you use them in yours. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more speed builds, walkthroughs, and Touch of Magic tutorials. Thank you to all of my subscribers for your views, likes, and comments. An extra special thanks to our channel members. Your continued support means so much. Thanks, friends. I'll see you in the next video.